again, welcome to a new video. In this video we are going to talk about disintermediation and reintromediation. In the digital economy, value chains become shorter, so this is already known in traditional businesses, but radicalness and speed of change have increased. See the disappearance of intermediary trade, wholesale trade, and retail sale. Suppliers sell directly to the customer, and for digital goods, the physical manufacturing is transferred to the consumer. I print my books at home. Traditional intermediaries are eliminated. See the music business as another good example for this effect. However, at the same time, we think volume of offerings and the high number of customers in the web leads to establishment of new intermediaries, for example, the electronic marketplace, where demand and offerings are bonded. Value chains become longer again to benefit from synergies with respect to specialization. The reason for this paradox changes in that minimizing of transaction costs with ICT is realized, and this may sometimes lead to a disintermediation, but sometimes it is vice versa to reintermediation. So let's talk about the economy of attention. Providers of a specific service can often be found in direct neighborhood, for example, the car dealers, the farmers market, because here is the easier for them to get the attention of potential customers. But if the market size increases, every participant has to increase his marketing and advertising efforts to be noticed by potential customers. However, activities to get attention from potential customers will show an effect only if there is a potential customer on the marketplace. This leads to the finding that the really narrow goods is the attention of the potential customer, but nothing else. Subsequently, it must be the objective of the supplier to get the attention of his potential customers. With this background, we see a changed role perception. The customer offers his attention and it is paid by the supplier with content, for example in the commercial televisions, and the supplier can sell his products or service if he first buys the attention of his potential customer. Examples of attention-driven business models are the subscription, performance, membership, advertisement, and sponsor. Also, the categories of attention-driven business are free offerings should cost the customer to buy another products or services, which must be paid and also finance the cost of the provided tracer. The free services lead to connected services, which must be paid, and also the free service is paid by a third party. The free service in the web is often combined with good or service which cannot be delivered via web. Within the information flood of the internet, the single supplier has to increase his marketing efforts and thus finally his marketing costs to get attention. So-called teasers are given away free of charge. This shall generate the willingness to purchase other goods or services. Also, freemium models are installed by many providers of digital goods. A basic product is given away free of charge, but the customer has to pay for premium functionality, so some software tools are given away. But if the user wants to export or import files or just to print some content, he has to buy an additional and specific software module, which is not included in the basic package. So, about the employment, does e-commerce really create jobs as it started quite often? Let us consider what really goes on. If the customer uses his free money to buy additional goods or services, then this generates an additional demand. As long as this additional demand leads to a need of human workload, the freed manpower can be allocated in new jobs. But e-commerce speeds up the price decrease. How long does it take until the free workload is allocated in new jobs? However, there is a second question. Can the free manpower be allocated in another jobs? Or do the new jobs need other skills and higher qualifications? Are the job-seeking people qualified enough? Can they be qualified? In conclusion, there is a big social and political issue, but this cannot be solved by company owners because nobody can ask them to not make profit. This is a macroeconomic and political challenge. However, also business people as well as computer scientists have social responsibility. So now let's discuss about the externalities. Let's start with the definition. Externalities are side effects of business transaction from which the parties involved in the transaction do not suffer but also do not have an advantage. However, third parties might suffer or benefit from those side effects. Examples of externalities are the environment pollution of a manufacturing facility from which the people around will suffer, parking area of shopping center which can be used for market or sport events or just as a playground when the shopping center is closed. The negative externalities lead hopefully to legal consequences. Positive externalities often generate new business. Internet examples of externalities are coverage raises advertising, virtual communities are attractive for focused advertising, and the initiation of clubs, their economic advantages of memberships appeal to human vanities. But what about the globalization then? The technical standardization creates a global platform which allows the cooperation of an infinite number of partners all over the world. Global coverage leads to global markets. Suppliers can and must produce in lowest cost location, and jobs are transferred to low cost areas. But the information density in data can be exchanged electronically. Media breaches can be eliminated, and this leads to an information flood. Thus, efforts to find the relevant information may increase or must be compensated by intelligent search agents. Information and knowledge management becomes more and more important. But what about the intellectual properties? The intellectual properties are traditionally protected by patents, copyrights, and trademarks. This includes the economic application, and there is an ambivalent effects on the web. So coverage and distribution speed increase, but digitalized results can be copied and manipulated arbitrarily. Alternative ideologies are discussed. Protection of ownerships through appropriate technical procedures, for example in the database certificates, and free use as cultural assets, like the commercial compensation through follow-up businesses. However, there is a problem. Who fund the efforts to create intellectual properties? And who is the customer of the intellectual property then? The one who pays for the intellectual property will claim that only he is allowed to use it. This is an all and not at all in internet a specific problem. And last but not least, how can we ensure that this is an intellectual achievement is assigned to the creator for a sufficient long time? We are talking about copyright now, and we have to state the basic problem of intellectual properties in the web, that is anonymity of user leads to intellectual plagiarism. So about the labeling effects, we have similar and cost-efficient, sometimes even free, access to the electronic markets for all participants. Also, small organizations have access to services which outside the web only big organizations were able to afford. Then the physical restrictions lose impacts. Then the significance of company size changes. We see advantages for very big and very small firms, probably disadvantages for medium-sized businesses. Consequently, the company size are changing. There is a clear trend to very big and very small companies. Will this be the death of the medium-sized businesses? Digital markets increase transparency. Who offer what at which price? Suppliers and customers have ideally the same degree of information, and the arbitrage profits go down. Perfect competition balance seems possible then. But we have to ask about the following questions, like when does the supermarket effect start? The transparency decreases through over offering. And what is the benefit of the lowest price if this X manufacturing plant and if the plant have 20,000 kilometers away? So we are going to discuss this question in our following video. So hope you have enjoyed this one and learn with the content, and see you in the next.